Hey y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. Today I am going to show you a shrimp pasta recipe that is just going to have your family going wild. Honey, this dish applies some pressure. And baby, we are not doing no Alfredo. I'm going to do you something different, okay? So first I'm going to start by boiling some penne pasta 3 minutes undercooked. That's very important because we are going to be adding it and cooking it in the sauce later. Now I have 1 pound of shrimp, and onto this I'm going to be adding some hot Jamaican jerk curry powder. It is really hard to find this specific blend, so any Jamaican curry blend is going to work, and maybe just add a little bit of jerk seasoning. Then I'm going to add some lemon pepper as well as an all-purpose seasoning that's a combination of paprika, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And then I'm going to mix this until it is well coated. You don't have to go too heavy with the seasoning on the shrimp because you will be adding some more additional spices later. I know someone's going to ask why I left the tails on those shrimp, and honestly it is just for presentation purposes. Honey, I'm a food blogger. I got to make it look good, so I just like to leave the tails on, but of course you can pop them right off. Now I'm going to take 1 red onion and I'm going to cut it into slices. I'm also going to be prepping some sweet mini bell peppers and cutting those into slices as well. You want to use a variety of colors because that color is really going to make your pasta dish pop. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite shrimp recipe? Please leave the details because I might be able to make it on this channel. I am going to remove about 1/4 cup of the pasta water and place that to the side. Then I'm going to drain my pasta and I'm going to rinse it with cool water. Remember, this pasta is 3 minutes undercooked, so of course it's still going to have a bite to it. But if you cook it in that sauce, it's really going to absorb the curry flavors that you're going to be adding. Do you guys love my yellow cast iron skillet? I have just been loving this enamel cast iron, but I feel like I've been cheating on Sister Mabel. Y'all know my OG cast iron skillet. Into my cast iron skillet, I'm going to be adding about 1/2 tablespoon of curry powder, and I'm going to toast this on a medium low until it's nice and fragrant. Then I'm going to throw in some of that butter, baby. Okay, that butter is going to add a great flavor to this dish, but the coconut oil is going to make sure that butter does not burn. You're going to need to toast this for about 45 seconds, maybe a minute, depending on how high you have your heat up. I would keep this on about a 3, no more than a 4 on an electric stove. Then right into this coconut oil and curry, I'm going to add my shrimp and I'm going to cook them for about 2 minutes or so on each side. It's okay if they're not fully cooked. As long as they get about 3/4 of the way there, you're going to be good because they're going to finish cooking just in the residual heat of the pan. The shrimp will pick up some of the spices from the bottom of the pan, but that is okay because once you mix the shrimp in, it's going to add all that flavor straight back into the pasta. Then I'm going to take out my shrimp and I'm going to make sure I turn my heat down to about a 3, maybe a 2, so that I don't burn whatever curry is at the bottom of the skillet. Then I'm going to put in my vegetables. I'm adding in my onions, my peppers, and that pasta water so that I can get the curry from the bottom of the skillet. I do not want it to burn because when the spices burn, they add a bitter flavor. Saute this with about a tablespoon of green seasoning and some garlic and ginger for about 3 minutes. The green seasoning is a mixture of herbs, onions, peppers that I pre-blend just to add that fresh flavor to my dishes. I will leave a link to how I make my green seasoning in the description box. Right onto the vegetables, I'm going to add a pinch of salt so that they can begin to get some flavor too. And as you see, a lot of that water is cooked down, so those vegetables have browned. I'm going to remove 1/2 of these veggies and then add in some thyme, a little bit more butter, and a shrimp bouillon cube. I'm removing 1/2 of the vegetables because I want to add them back at the end so that they'll still have a little bit of freshness to the dish. Then I'm going to add about 3 cups of a really good quality coconut milk. This has to be one that's full fat and great flavor. Honey, you can't go light coconut milk on this one, okay? I'm going to just take a few tablespoons of water and rinse out that marination bowl to get all the seasoning in there. And then I'm going to put in my pasta. Things initially are going to look a little bit liquidy, but I am going to simmer this pasta for about 3 to 4 minutes until it is al dente. And when it starts sopping up all the flavors that is in this pot, baby, this pasta is going to be so delicious and good. Now, you will initially get a thicker sauce if you use a coconut cream, but I didn't have coconut cream, so I just made it work with the coconut milk. Into this, I'm going to add about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of a cheddar cheese. This is going to thicken the sauce, as well as about 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch that I added to a little bit of water. I'm going to allow this to simmer with the lid off until the sauce thickens up. That'll take about a minute or two. Then I'll put in those veggies and I will add the shrimp. Reserve just a couple shrimp to put on top, just so people know what they getting when it's on the plate. You know, some people got their shellfish allergies, and baby, shellfish allergies need not apply for this dish. All right. However, you can make this same dish with chicken. Don't adjust any of the seasonings until you add the shrimp and those vegetables back, because they're going to add more spices that they have on them to this dish and pack tons of flavor. Let me know how you like this coconut curry shrimp pasta recipe. My family just tore this up, and I bet yours will too. I'll see you next time in Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye and God bless.